This is Caster, and I'm going to do a little more talk on the 3MLE editor. Last time I did it, I briefly touched bases for people who just started on it. It was fine at first, but now let's say you want to do some tweaking or editing on an already made song, or you want to do your own stuff, or you're trying to make a song match an instrument, because not all instruments play all the different octaves. So let's start off with a simple note. A, B, C, D. Like that. Now then when you play it, just like that. Now that's the fourth. Default is the fourth octave. So you got octave. Octave 1. Octave 2, octave 3, octave 4, octave 5, octave 6, octave 7, and I think there's an 8. Now, no, I don't think any instruments on Mabby will make octave 8. So you got 1 through 7, and not many instruments will play even 7. And actually, you probably don't want anything to play 7. Except for a wind instrument, because string instruments tend not to sound nice. You can barely hear it. It's too high pitch. Now octave 1, there's only a few instruments that can play it, as you can see here. Those bottom 2 don't get played. Alright, so then you go through what plays it. Well, I could tell you, a guitar would do it, and a cello coming out in the future do it too. And I'm pretty sure drums do it too. Yeah. So, sorry about that. So that's how you do that. Now, there's some songs where they'll have, I think piano plays stage 1, 2. Yep. Now there's some songs you notice there'll be some notes at the bottom, and then on the same track there'll be some notes up there, and then there'll be some notes up there, and then they'll go back down to there. Well, how do you do that without wasting it? Because each time you hit O and a 2, that takes up two notes, and you only limit it to so many. Well, how you do it is simply by this and that. And that. That lowers the octave, and that raises the octave. So, let's say we start at 1, and then we do A, B, C, D. Alright. Now we do this so we can figure out, let's say you want to make it for a specific instrument. Well, we do this to determine what the octave levels of that specific instrument is. So we'll raise it 1 octave each time. You see that? Oh, I messed up there. Sorry. And that. So yeah, you got octaves 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can see where. Now I know octave does a cello does 1 through 3. I don't know if I can't remember if it does 4. Nope. See that? 3 is its highest. And it can't do above an A. So, there you go. Well, now we know. Cello can't play from that line and up. So, let's say you still want those notes there. Try violin. Well, violin can't play down there. So then you gotta make the judgment whether or not that's doable. And then you got a guitar. Now, guitar is tricky because the bottom notes sound like a normal guitar. But then as you go up, it starts sounding weird and funny. So that gives you a general basis. And that's how you tweak around with some of the instruments so you know their limits and whatnot. So let's say you want to make a song for... So let's say I want to make a song for cello only, or guitar only, or violin, or a lute only. And, well, that's... But it has some notes that are at the very top on octave 7. Well, you know the instrument that you're playing can't do that, so you play around with changing the octaves just by doing those simple little scissor things there to see if you can make it work with that. And of course, I do have a song I did make for I don't want to save that. So yeah, let's do the Firefly song. Now, so this is what it sounds without any tweaks or edits or let's say I decide I want to make that a cello. Well, we know cello doesn't play there. Now, a safe bet is to make, instead of making that octave 1, where you know it will play, you make it octave 2, because some songs, it will start off in the middle, and then go straight down and straight up. Well, if you do octave 1, all those ones that are down will now won't be there. Well, they won't be readable. So then I'll make all my bass notes into a cello. And then I'll make these middle ones a piano. And I'll make that a violin. Stop it there. Now we know. Now these funny notes like that, the violin cannot do. So let's change that to a piano. And we play it again. So now if I want to make it for a guitar. Now, guitar is tricky because the A flats are broken on a guitar. And how you make a flat is you see those pluses down there. These ones right here. That's how you make a sharp note. Now the A sharp is broken on a guitar, and some other notes are too. And then you got the ones on the high notes sound weird, and the ones on the low notes sound normal. So what you try to do is, now both the funny sounding ones and the regular sounding ones do work, just not on the same guitar. It starts to sound like gibberish and garble. So what you want to do is either decide if you're going to have one guitar or two guitars playing, or in a jam, either dedicate the guitar to either playing those funny notes or the regular notes to see, what it sounds best with. Sorry about that. My son wants a chocolate-covered ice cream cone. Alright, so let's do this one and do Now what you want to do with the guitar is first you put it up on its original octave. Start from the beginning. See how it kind of twings and stuff? Well, that's because the bend is... I don't know if they fixed it on the actual game. I got what I got, so I have to make it work with what I got. So then you do that. You see? Now it keeps it same. Now let's say I want to make it that weird funny sound. Well, then I make that into octave 5. And it has that bendy sound. And then you see if that works with it. Alright. And that's slightly more advanced stuff besides doing it from scratch yourself. And I'm not going to go into detail about doing it to scratch yourself because it would take too long. My time limit is very limited on these things, so you know the basics, you know the sort of intermediate stuff. So that's so I gotta say about that, and you learn everything else on your own. Take care.